Hey traders, welcome back to the FXC YouTube channel. During the Asia session this morning, I was thinking we may get some long setups on EU, but unfortunately that didn't pan out. DXY continues strong to the upside, showing a strong sense of risk-off sentiment at the moment. Whether that continues or not remains to be seen, but seems more logical to follow order flow rather than fight it. Let's see what's changed since Asia session, but first, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. Now let's get into it. So starting with DXY on the daily time frame, you can see that DXY has come well into the daily fair value gap, and there's a 1 hour fair value gap that it just tapped and is having a small reaction off of it. And you can see we still have premium levels a ways above, and we also have another daily fair value gap with a volume imbalance as well around OTE area. So if it wants to have a big pullback, there's a lot of room for DXY to continue to the upside. It's not what I was expecting, but it's clearly a possibility. Now on to the hourly time frame, you can see that we have buy side liquidity just above the current level, and we also have a bearish 1 hour fair value gap that was created on the way down. And we also have all kinds of bullish fair value gaps created on the way up. My main areas of interest is the buy side liquidity above. I want to see the reaction there if we sweep it, but I'm more interested in the fair value gaps below. Based on the current order flow, it makes more sense for London to give a pullback into one of the fair value gaps and continue up from there. The fair value gap at the top, you can see, has a small little volume imbalance on the left. And you can also see we have resting liquidity as well. So it seems like quite a logical level for DXY to retrace to before continuing to the upside, assuming it wants to continue higher. And then we also have another area of equal lows. You can't really see it here on this time frame, but on the 15-minute it's quite clear. And we have a fair value gap just below that as well. So onto the 15-minute time frame. So you can see the equal lows much more clearly on this sell side liquidity as well as this sell side liquidity. I like both levels. The more logical one is the first one because it may just leave these intact, but it would also make sense to come down to this one because it would sweep the Asia range, come back and retest the inverse fair value gap, and potentially reverse from there. So I'm thinking maybe we get a pullback before London or during London at these levels and then continue to the upside, or potentially sweeping this liquidity, coming to this level, and then continuing to the upside. But at the same time, we are seeing a reaction here at the hourly fair value gap. We may push up, sweep the liquidity, and potentially come right back down. But to be honest, I mean, looking at the way price is moving to the upside, may make more sense to focus on longs on DXY rather than shorting DXY. Now moving on to EU on the daily time frame, you can see on EU as well, we've come well into the daily fair value gap and digging deeper and deeper. Our discount levels are way below, and we have another fair value gap much lower, but this resides in OTE. So I mean, if it wants to make a deep pullback, this could be a logical level. On the hourly time frame, we have sell side liquidity just below us. And this resides roughly around 50% of the daily fair value gap. So mitigating 50% of that may be enough to reverse the price and continue to the upside. But I'm not sure if we're going to have a reversal there, as everything is currently so bearish. And as I said, we have a lot of room to go to the downside, especially if we want to reach those discount levels. Honestly, I didn't think we were going to, but looking at the way price is moving now, it may make more sense. And above us, you can see we have all kinds of inefficiency left behind. We have one fair value gap not too far above. This seems like a logical level for price to come to, and then continue to the downside. But at the same time, we also have this, well, you can't really see it on the hourly, but on the 15-minute you can see it quite clearly. We have some buy-side liquidity resting here, so potentially it may want to reach a little higher into this fair value gap and then come down. And one of the benefits of coming to this area is we would also sweep the Asia range, so there is some logic to coming this high as well. And like I said, on the downside, I will also be looking at the sell side liquidity to see if we get a reaction there for potential reversals and continuation to the upside. And if we go on the 15-minute, so the main difference on the 15-minute is we have this 15-minute demand from over here on the left just below. So this could also be an area that we reach to and potentially shift and reverse from here as well. It could support the price and trigger a reversal, so I will be watching this as well as the sell side liquidity below. But for now, I'm more interested in areas to short. So as I said, the fair value gap just above and the one above this buy side liquidity and the Asia range. This could be a target for EU to reach to if it wants to have a deeper pullback. So for now, I'll be focused more on looking for reaction at the fair value gaps above for shorting opportunities if we get a pullback during London. But if London pushes down, then I'll be more interested in watching the reaction at the demand and the sell side liquidity. But as we are currently in a risk-off scenario, shorts are making more sense. Although I originally didn't think we would have such a deep pullback, we may very likely see price continue down all the way into discount before seeing any continuation higher. Anyways, that's it for today's quick update for London session. Hopefully you guys found some value in today's video, and if you did, a like and a subscribe would be appreciated. Good luck trading today, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace. Hey, you made it to the very end. Thanks for that. If you could do me one more favor and click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, it'll allow the YouTube algos to kick in and help this channel grow. Thanks again. Cheers.